What's your favorite character in a game? What is your favorite game? What is your favorite type of game? This is Rakino's Question of the Week. Hey everybody, welcome back to Rakino's Questions. I'm Rakino, your host, and the last question we had was based off of Memorial Day war games. What was your favorite war game? And I listed a bunch of different ones. I know it was just the other day when I uploaded it, but we had one reply from Red Panda. Thank you so much for watching the video and giving me your comments. He filled up my comments with tons of questions. That's awesome. I liked it, and I tried to answer almost all of them. But he said Metal Gear Solid could be considered one, which I agree. That's a good one. Good series, good franchise. I guess, is franchise the right word for that? I don't even know if does franchise work in games, or is that just like food market? I'm not really sure exactly. But he also mentioned one which was Command and Conquer, and I meant to say that in the video and I didn't. And I'm like, after the video is over and I was editing and putting all the cool stuff on there. I do everything by myself, by the way. I don't have a sidekick except for my son when we play video games, which is leading into the next question. But I want to go back to the war games and which one was your favorite. He also mentioned Spec Ops was a good one. That was a that's a pretty good one too. So today's question is going to be based off of kids. Can kids play video games? So I was trying to shoot around the ideas like, at what age, or is the first question I was thinking was, is games okay for kids? That back a while back, I would say probably as far as like less than 10 years for sure. It was a very controversial whether kids should be allowed to play video games. There was a lot of, having to deal with like school shootings. Was the shooter playing video games? I mean, come on now. Let's face it. That whole situation is dumb because about, I would say, probably 90% of people, maybe 80% of people play video games as kids. Maybe they don't play it as much as an adult, but as kids, like almost everybody plays video games. So that's kind of a dumb correlation that people were trying to figure out whether people that go on these mass killing sprees are because they played video games. My opinion, that's an upbringing and influenced agenda. So we're gonna stay away from that. But then I was like, I looked up, is it okay for kids to play games? I got a straight up 5 sources right at the top of the search bar saying yes. And then I was like going through it, and there was a ton of different things, and I was like, well, this is a dumb question because obviously I think kids playing games is okay, and it's good. And it's good for their brain. Developmental stuff. Now, I think there's a specific way about going through how you let your kids play games, and like at age 2, I saw that at age 2 is a good time that they can put a controller in their hand and start learning, hand-eye coordination, so they can look at something and be able to push buttons and things like that. I've been a gamer all my life, and I'm a great person. I'm a good guy. I try not to lie. I haven't had a bad influence based off the games I've played. And so for my son to play games, it's just, I need my another co-pilot. I have a son and I want him to play games. He's going to join us shortly and give his take on it. But first we're going to go over the ratings. I don't know if everybody knows the ratings on games, the ESRB rating. It goes from EC, I'm looking down because I have notes here. EC, which is early children. That's a rating for a game. You have E for everyone. E10 plus, which is everyone 10 plus can play those games. Teen, you have M for older, like 14 plus, and then you have adult, which is 18 plus. There's very little of those type of games out there. There are those games out there, pretty much porn in games. Then you have the RP, which means it's rating pending. So they haven't rated it yet. And typically that happens early in its production before it actually gets released to everybody to play. So we're going to bring in my son and we're going to have him tell you, what he thinks at what age. And then we'll get more into like what we started playing with him in the beginning and where we're at now. Mind you, he's 5 years old. All right. Everybody, welcome. This is my son. What do you want to be named on here? Do you want to name yourself anything particular?
My name and myself Fortnite.
Okay. His name is Dragon Man Madman 5. Yeah. So he and me, I have questions for you about kids playing video games. At what age do you think kids should be able to play video games?
Video games can play at 4, 5, 6, like any
up after that. So from 4 years old up. What if I told you that you started playing video games around 1.5 to 2 years old?
I would be a baby as that.
I can't hear you. You gotta talk louder.
I would be a baby as that.
You would be like a baby, yeah. So, do you remember what the first game we played together was? Pretty much the first game? You watched me play some games, but...
It was... Pixel Worlds?
Not Pixel Worlds, but that is a good one. It was Lego Batman 3. It was the first, it was free, so we decided, let's get this game. And I started with you playing it, so I put your control, we it was 2 players, so we put 2, you had a controller, I had a controller, and the only thing you could do, you can move, and you can jump. But you couldn't move and jump at the same time. That was how it started, is moving and then jumping. That's how you started it. It was so frustrating, but it was nice to get him to learn how to multitask at the same time, being able to move and jump at the same time. Well, thanks for joining me in the video. And I'm going to go ahead and talk to him some more, and then I'll be done with the video.
Okay.
Alright, I'll see you later. There you have it. That was Dragon Madman 5. I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if you could tell his shirt, he had a Minecraft shirt. So what games does he play? He plays Minecraft, Roblox, Lego games, Pixel Worlds. He has a bunch of different games on his iPad, well, our iPad, and was mine, now it's kind of his. He plays on the Switch, he plays Pokemon Go, he plays all kinds of games. Early on, he had a Elite Pad. That's for little kids to learn. They learn things. They actually teach you different things. Now they have the Academy game where you can learn, like at a school, but in a game form. They have all kinds of good kid games for developmental stuff. But I guess I haven't really even addressed the main question here is at what games. Or at what age are kids allowed to play shooter games? I think that's a better question. Now, I looked this up online and I got 0. It's like at no age should a kid play shooter games. That being said, Fortnite is a shooter game. Now, when you shoot, and I'm not going to take this back even further. Legos. There's guns and stuff in Legos, and you can shoot other Legos, and they blow up. I think it's the way that shooter games are portrayed, because you have a Lego, it's if the little kids know what Legos are, they fall apart, and they can put them back together, and that's the same in Lego games. You can shoot them, they fall apart, and they come back together. As long as your kids know the difference between, like, real life and video games, and I've explained this to him growing up the whole time, like it's nonstop learning experience when you're teaching kids while playing video games. It's very good for life lessons. Like, you can't do this. This is a game. This is a game. You don't have to get like crazy about it. Like, you can't kill people in real life. I mean, I've probably told him that, but but yeah. So Fortnite, we're gonna go back, jump ahead. He plays Fortnite, and he's better than most people out there, and he's 5 years old. What made me let him play Fortnite? I was hesitant because it's more realistic. It's still kind of cartoonish, but it's more realistic. Um, but there's building involved, and he could build. He could build better than me on that damn game. It's crazy. But anyway, it's knowing your kid also. Know how he is or she, how their tendencies are. Um, Learning your kid is important as much as teaching them. I got cat bombed again. My cat's out there meowing. I have a dog too, so I'm not just a cat guy. Actually, I never wanted a cat, but yeah, I got talked into it. Anyway, um, it's about learning your child as much as it is about teaching your child. If you can learn your child on how they are and how they learn, it makes it easier to teach them. And for video games, it's about knowing their tendencies. If they get angry when they're playing games, he gets angry playing Fortnite sometimes, and I have to pull back the reins. Hey, no more playing Fortnite. You're throwing a fit. That's what happens. You're not allowed to do this, So it's about teaching them about these things. The ratings are not a required. You're a parent. You decide if you are a parent. If you're just watching this for the entertainment, thanks. Hit the thumbs up button. But they're a guide to give you an idea of what age is good for children. I think that guide is overrated, and it's old. It's traditional. And it should be changed. It really depends on how you structure the kid, but it is. I mean, it's a guide. It's there, so you can use it or not. I personally started playing games when I was really little, and I think what's good about that is that you develop the type of games. Like, you go through the games, and as you progress and get better and understanding of the games you're playing, you can move on to an upper game, like a little bit more realistic or a little bit more realistic. But I really think it's good for motivational skills and eye-hand coordination and problem solving. And if I had to recommend any games to anybody to start out with, would be Lego games. Now, people might think, well, but why? Lego games have a ton of puzzles in them. Tons of puzzles. You have to problem solve. It's a huge problem solving game. Decision making. We played a lot of Lego Dimensions, and you can go check out those videos. I have me and him playing those. Mixing colors. There'll be like a picture or a diagram on the wall that will be like green, and then you have three choices. You have yellow, blue, and red. What two colors make green? So those are the type of things that you're learning. And he's 5 years old, and he can learn these things. And you haven't in school, you're not even going to learn that stuff. So anyway, the question, I'm getting into it a little bit too much maybe, and I want to not keep the video too long on this one, but at what game do you think, I'm going to make it two questions. First question, at what age do you think kids can be allowed to play shooter games? And does it depend on the type of game? I wanted to go back to Fortnite again. In Fortnite, you don't kill someone so much. Alright? It's more of you eliminated the what do you call it? Hologram almost. Because have you ever noticed whenever you kill someone, it doesn't splatter blood or anything like that, but they go like into a little computer device. It's just like poof, and then all the pieces of the person or the body goes up into this little robot thing, and then it shoots off. So if these are the things that you're noticing, like, check out the games, look and see how the player that gets eliminated, how they're eliminated, and how it looks. If it looks like it's a computer, that was just we're playing on a holo table basically. So those are things to look for. I wouldn't recommend horror games and stuff like that. You don't want to traumatize your kid. The second the second part of the question, I've already completely forgot. Yeah, yeah, I'm horrible at this. Oh, I know what the second question was. I want to know if you guys have kids. Leave in the comments. I always want you guys to place stuff in the comments, and I will respond. I want to know: do you have kids, and if they play uh, shooter games? Like, are they playing games? Just leave me any comments. I don't really care what they are, and I'll try to get back to you. I appreciate everybody for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. That's very important because it helps me out, and then you'll be on the list to get all the videos I post, and eventually maybe a giveaway or something like that in the future. So I appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one. Bye. How many games have you played? What's the scariest game you've ever played? What's the most action-packed game you've ever played? What is the longest amount of time you've ever played a game? Wait a minute. Are we actually in a game?